question that you did not pay for the dog.
And a conflict was born.
No, Your Honor, I don't want her to keep the dog. No.
A month after, you got another puppy. You live in a trailer with 2 young children, and you've got 15 dogs.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Dog breeder Celeste Ranger is suing former client, 25-year-old Leslie Eberline, for the return of her dog, the pick of a litter, attorney fees, and slander.
Order. All rise. That's case number 114 on the calendar in the matter of Ranger versus Eberline.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Eberline, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
This is a breach of contract case. The plaintiff says that you breached a contract to purchase a puppy for money from her and give her the pick of litter from the first litter that puppy had. And the puppy was a Pomeranian, if I'm not mistaken. So I have a few questions for you because there's no question that you did not pay for the dog. And there is also no your intention to keep the dog. You said she's become part of your family and that you intend to have her spayed, which would not permit you to fulfill the second part of the contract. Now, your defense is that the plaintiff's running a puppy mill and therefore she shouldn't be entitled to anything. So let's get to you. Who do you live with?
My fiance and my 2 children.
How old are your children?
7 and 3.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 3 Pomeranians.
And what else?
We have beagles.
I want you to tell me how many dogs you have. No.
I have about 12 beagles, Your Honor.
Don't.
That's not true.
Just don't
That's not true.
speak unless I ask you. You live with your fiance and 2 children, 7 and 3. 3 Pomeranians. What else?
Beagles.
How many?
12.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I don't want to hear from you. Please, let me do my job. 12 beagles. And tell me what size house you have.
A trailer.
You live in a trailer.
Yes.
And where do these 15 dogs live?
The 3 Pomeranians live in my house, and they're able to go outside. We have 17 acres.
The 3 Poms live in your...
A large pole barn. I'm not sure of the dimensions of it, but they run in and outside.
Okay, and I would assume that unless you are somehow psychiatrically infirm, the 12 beagles that you have, you sometimes sell beagles? Do you sometimes
Do
sell...
I sell beagles?
Does
No.
your fiancé sometimes sell beagles?
Yes.
Yes. And how many of the 12 beagles are puppies?
3.
That's not true.
Miss Ranger, don't annoy me. So we're dealing with, at best, a story of the pot calling the kettle black. You ever hear that expression?
Yes.
Yes. So you're complaining that the conditions that the plaintiff's animals live in, and you don't know this because you never saw it.
Right.
She runs a puppy mill. Now, what does your fiancé do for a living?
He does drywall, carpentry.
Drywall. You don't have any degrees in genetics, do you?
No.
Did you ever take biology classes in college?
No, Your Honor. I grew
No.
up on a farm.
No. So you breed dogs, and one of the reasons that you wanted a female dog from Miss Ranger is that you had a male Pomeranian who was 6 months old that you wanted to breed. So you don't think that 15 dogs are a litter of Pomeranians. Had you ever had a litter of Pomeranians?
No, Your Honor.
No. Now, when you got your Pomeranians, from whom did you get them?
My original one?
Let's talk about all 3.
Okay. A friend.
A friend. A friend whose name was?
Lottie.
Don't ask me. That's not a question.
I'm not asking you.
Okay. And when did you get the first one from your friend Lottie?
September 2018.
And is that a male or a female?
He's a male.
And did you pay for him?
Yes, I did.
How much?
$650.
Who did you get the second one from?
Celeste.
Who did you get the third one from?
I found her on a Craigslist.
And?
I'm
A female.
a female, yes.
What was the name of the person from whom you bought her? Name of the person from whom you bought her.
Mary.
No, I'm going to call the person. Do you understand? So don't
I
give me
do
the
not
business.
know, Your Honor.
You're a hustler.
Her name.
You're a
No.
hustler. Hustler.
No.
When did you get the dog from Mary?
March 2019.
Is that a question or is that an answer?
It's an answer.
Good, then don't put a question mark at the end of the sentence.
Okay.
So you got that dog in March.
Yes.
How old is that dog?
4 months old?
Female.
Yes.
Now I know who you are. That makes my job much easier in this process. You understand?
Okay.
You thought this was going to be easier? It's not easier. It gets harder because the irresponsibility that you allege I should ascribe in your answer to the plaintiff, who was running what you say must be a puppy mill because the dog that you got from her was frightened, etc. So far, I don't know how many animals she had, but I know that your fiancé does drywall. You live in a trailer with 2 young children. One of them was 3 years old, and you've got 15 dogs, all of whom you either plan or have bred to sell for money. Neither of you, I assume, has any degree in chemistry, biology, genetics, none.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Yes, I'm dying to hear you.
I don't have a degree in biology or breeding or whatever, but I interact with my beagles, and I don't breed them for profit.
You mean you give them away?
Some.
Sit down. You know, if something doesn't make sense, once you get to be my age, historically, you know, it doesn't make sense. For instance, children, not meaning to hurt little dogs, will pick them up, drop them, put them on a chair. Now, your 3 Pomeranians live in a confined quarter with a 3-year-old, and you plan on breeding them so you'll have more living in the trailer. Now, that to me, put your hand down, isn't smart. Now, we're going to leave you. I assume one thing, that you do not have any 3-year-olds living with you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, you breed Pomeranians?
I have bred Pomeranians for the last 3 years as I had left.
So you've bred them for the last 3 years?
That's correct.
How many do you have?
I own 6.
When you sell your Pomeranian puppies, how much do you generally charge for them?
I charge $800 for the male and anywhere from $900 to $1,200 for the female.
Now, where did you get your 6 Pomeranians from?
I bought them from different states throughout the United States, as I wanted them to make sure that even though they are all papered, that they would come from a different state far away, so that their genetics would be not
Did you check?
family.
Have any of the Pomeranians that you sell, because selling them from $900 to $1,200 is a substantial
Yes.
fee. Do any of them have champion bloodlines?
Yes, they do.
So,
Papered or AKC or
well,
CKC.
a lot of animals can be AKC.
But they are from champion bloodlines.
Eventually, yes, somewhere down the line. Okay, and how many litters have you had?
Approximately in 3 years, I only have 3 female and 3 male, but approximately, because they are my pets, so I've had approximately in 3 years, probably about 6 or 7 litters.
And how many are there in a litter?
It can be from 1 to 4, typically.
Okay, now, your lawsuit says that you and the defendant entered into a contract.
Yes.
And the contract provided, when she called you for a puppy, you got her name from a website?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And at that time, according to your complaint, you didn't have any very young puppies.
No, I
You
did
had-
have young puppies, but they were only male, and she
Male.
was looking for female.
And she said she wanted a female to breed.
Correct.
Curiosity, did you ask her whether she had any experience
No.
breeding?
No, but she had brought up that her boyfriend had beagles and that he had bred beagles before.
Okay, so they had some experience with
I guess so.
breeding dogs.
I guess so.
But she wanted this female to breed.
Yes.
You had a female
Yes.
that was 18 months old.
Approximately. A little older.
She's lying, Your Honor.
That's not true.
Shh.
Her birthday's
There's a-
April.
there's-
Her birthday's April.
Shh. When did you buy the puppy?
That's not true. She got her
Judge-
on the 3rd of February.
What difference? It doesn't make any difference. Please don't fight with each other. It's not particularly germane. And you have papers for that dog?
I do.
And on what date was the puppy born?
April 18th or somewhere in the teens of April of 2017.
So she was about 20 months old.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And according to you, since you usually sell your females for breeding purposes, which most people who breed dogs do, sell them for more.
That's correct.
I know that from my own dealings with people who breed dogs. I tried it only once myself, and I realized it was not the right.
It's a lot of
not
work.
a sport.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And not necessarily everyone is as cooperative as they promise that they will be.
That's correct.
I mean, in your house. So, according to you, you made an agreement with Miss Eberlein for $600.
Yes.
And pick of litter.
Female pick of the litter because they sell for more.
Did you have anything in writing with her?
I did.
May I see it?
Actually, it was over the Facebook instant message that she agreed.
Can I see it?
Yes. Right here, this third page. This is the initial contact, and then it just goes on a couple text messages through instant message, and she agreed.
I can read. Okay, so you bought the puppy. You agreed to her asking price of $600 and a female puppy pick of litter. That was your contract.
No, Your Honor.
Well, show me something different. I'm reading the text messages with photographs back and forth. Okay? So if you say that there is a different agreement, I'm willing to look at it.
Okay, thank you.
What are you telling me?
What am I telling you with that?
Yeah, what are you showing me with that?
I'm showing you that we talked on the phone after the original asking price. So let's say you buy a car, it's marked at this amount. Well, we talked on the phone.
Just a second. So you're telling me you negotiated with her?
Exactly.
And what did you negotiate with her?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't have a problem giving Miss Ranger a puppy.
No. You can't give her a puppy from a spayed dog.
I'm not going to spay her until Celeste gets what she...
Oh, no, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Dog breeder Celeste Ranger says former client Leslie Eberlein stole her dog. Leslie's countersuing for attorney fees, lost wages.
You negotiated with her.
Exactly.
And what did you negotiate with her?
She said it would help her out if I took Jules. She had too many dogs to take care of, too many puppies. She lived in Michigan because she was taking care of her sick mother. Her mother passed away. She wanted to move back to Arizona. She said she would help me out by getting me into breeding, and she could teach me things and help me.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen to me carefully.
Okay.
You breached the contract. Whether I believe you, which I don't, or not, you breached at least one term of the contract. You said you can have, according to your evidence, which is only one page, and I have a correspondence from the two of you with the other. According to you agreed to give her pick of litter. And then you said you were going to have her spayed. That's what you wrote in your answer, right?
I would like
that's a breach. That's a breach of your contract.
I don't have a problem giving Miss Ranger a puppy.
No. You breached the contract. You can't give her a puppy from a spayed dog.
I'm not going to spay her until Celeste gets what she...
Oh, no, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
Okay.
With your Mary story and the other story, and the fact that, according to you, a month after you got the dog from her that you say was traumatized and you had to take family and acclimate it to your family, within 4 weeks of that, you got another puppy.
Yes.
You got another puppy. You already had 15 dogs, and you got another puppy. So I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. Now, I don't know what her situation is with breeding her animals, but if on your side I heard, we wanted a Pomeranian, I wanted a dog for my kids, I saw this dog online, I thought it was great, I took it, we fell in love with it, but that's not what you're saying at all. You want to become a dog breeder. You have no particular skills at that. Neither you nor your fiance have any particular skills.
I thought I wanted to be a dog breeder. I do not. I was
You mean
going to try
since
it
March
out.
you changed your mind? And what did you
Yes,
get
Your
another
Honor.
female doll for?
For a pet, because my kids...
You already had 3 pets.
Do you want to see my pets?
No.
Okay.
I have no interest in seeing you. I know what a Pomeranian looks like.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The other dog that you have is 80 pounds. You forgot about an 80-pound dog? I mean, are you telling me you just forgot about the 80-pound dog?
It doesn't have to do about my other dogs. This has to do about Jules.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Accused former client Leslie Eberlein of stealing her female Pomeranian and costing her money in an attempt to get her back.
You breached the contract. The only question is, you want to keep the dog? Fine. Now, question is damages. What are plaintiff's damages?
No, Your Honor, I don't want her to keep the dog. No, she told me that she had another Pomeranian. No, I don't want her to have the dog because I didn't know this when we made an agreement, but she had a dog 4 months before Jules came along, and she had a Pomeranian, and she has an 80-pound blue healer that killed her Pomeranian, shook it while they were eating, killed her Pomeranian, and then she has another one that has birth defects.
What's a blue healer?
We don't have a blue healer, Your Honor.
Something other, some other breed of, I don't know, it's 80 pounds. I got text messages.
Yep. Did you have a blue healer?
We do not have a blue healer.
Did you?
I don't know what
Never.
it is.
We have a black mouth cur.
Okay, that's
Well,
correct.
just a second. What is that?
Old Yeller.
Okay, so that's a big dog. Okay, and that's in addition to the Pomeranians and the 12 Beagles.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, you left that one out. Did you forget about a big dog? You're looking
That's
at me.
my fiance's dog, and he had this dog. How long have you had this?
Don't ask him. I asked you, how many dogs do you live with your 2 children, 7 and 3, with your children and your fiance. You have at least 3 Pomeranians. Now, you have 12 Beagles. That you said is his. They live in the barn. Beagles, they're small dogs. Maybe they're 30 pounds. The other dog that you have is a big dog, 80 pounds. You forgot about an 80-pound dog? I mean, are you telling me you just forgot about the 80-pound dog?
It doesn't have to do about my other dogs. This has to do about Jules.
Your Honor, I didn't know about the big dog. I didn't know about the big dog killing the Pomeranian until the day after.
Listen to me. Miss Ranger.
Yes.
This is the problem.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I can do either one of 2 things. I can give you you live in the same state?
Yes. Right
I
now,
can give you
I do.
an order that you can take to a sheriff or marshal, directing that you go to her house and pick up the dog.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
I don't know whether, I hope that would be successful, because I'm not sure about this group. That would resolve part of the case.
But, Your Honor, that's just not all.
Just a second. Listen.
She got me kicked right off for slandering me and telling me I run a puppy mill, and now my...
Listen to me. Or I can give you monetary damages. Do you understand?
Yes.
I can get you your dog back.
Yes.
I hope, with a marshal
Yes.
who will come out and with an order for animal control to go out and evaluate the circumstances where these dogs are living.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or I can entertain your case for money, for damages.
No.
You tell me what you want.
No money. No money for damage. No, I want the dog back because of what I've learned since the dog was transferred.
We will prepare those orders for you.
Okay. Okay. And can I seek damages for what I've paid for, like doing this for like months and months?
You've got your dog back.
I'm happy about that. Well,
You've got your dog back. We're done. Thank you.
Jake?
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
because of what they're doing in their home with 30-plus beagles and the couple Pomeranians that one died, one's got birth defects, and she's planning on breeding with the dog that I had arranged with her. I had no clue about all this other stuff going on in her home. We had spoken on the phone, and poor decision on my side. Well, I'm happy to be able to get Jules back, as she was in her health and her life, and it was in jeopardy, and I'm just happy that she'll be coming back home. Welcome home, Jules, and thank you very much, Judge Judy.
Is this what they jackhammered?
Yes.
A mistake by mason workers was set in stone.
You and the crew went out and started to jackhammer the driveway, and you destroyed her property because you weren't smart.
Are they paving their way to unemployment?
You said, I want a new driveway.
For 4,000?
Don't.
What?
There's only one person here that has attitude.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Camilla Latini, is suing cement mason Rudolfo Contreras and his employee, Gary Gomez, for mistakenly tearing up her driveway.
Order. All rise. It's case number 5 on the calendar, the matter of Latini versus Contreras Gomez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Latini, you own a home, mistakenly jackhammered and dug up part of your driveway.
That's correct.
And they did so because they were under the mistaken impression that you would hire them to do that.
I'm not sure what, okay, yeah.
But that's what they say.
Okay.
They were under the impression that you had hired them to do that. Mr. Contreras, you own this company?
No, it's not a company. It's a side job. We're both cement masons.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Concrete, cement mason.
Okay. So this isn't a side job. This is what you do for a living.
It's what I do for a living, yes.
All right. And you and your partner did, in fact, go on to plaintiff's property and jackhammer part of her cement driveway. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Don't think of where I'm going. Just answer the questions.
All right.
Plaintiff never hired you to do that.
No.
This is what your defense is. You were contacted by someone on the internet who said that they owned this property that belongs to the plaintiff and they wanted a new driveway. And you gave these people a quote. What was the quote for the new driveway?
$6,000.
$6,000 to put in a new driveway. You must have gone to the property to look at it.
Yes.
She wasn't there.
Correct.
Neither was the person that you were dealing with over the internet said, your price is agreeable. I'll wire you the money. But before I wire you the money, I want you to wire me $300 so I know that it's a legitimate place where I'm sending the money. So you sent that person who claimed to be the owner of the plaintiff's property a wire from your bank account for $300, correct?
Incorrect.
You say you sent them $300. How did you send it to them?
That was sent, me and this supposedly owner.
Just a second. Did you send them $300?
Yes.
How did you send them $300?
Through communications, through the text messaging, through the phone.
No, you can't send a text message with $300. How did you send them the $300?
Wired.
That's what I said. You sent them a wire for $300. And then you and the crew went out and started to jackhammer the driveway. And when you tried to get them to get you $6,000, according to you, they disconnected their phone, they disconnected their line. Oh, she comes home, she finds a driveway jackhammer. She said, who the heck are you? He said, but we were hired to put it in a driveway. She said, I never hired you to put it in a driveway. You told me in here.
For you, huh?
No, that is not what I told her. I haven't said much of anything for starters.
Well, I'm
With
just
all due
reading,
respect.
just a second. I'm reading your answer. And that's in a Reader's Digest form. So you tell me, did the plaintiff hire you to do a new driveway? That's a yes or a no.
No. And yes.
You tell me how yes. You tell me how the plaintiff hired you to put in a new driveway. Mr. Contreras, don't make yourself look foolish. Because if what I suggested was the accurate description of what happened, that you were hired by this person who you never met because he said he was out of town getting cancer treatment, which is what you wrote in your answer. And so you wired him $300 so he could confirm that he was dealing with a legitimate outfit before he sent you the $6,000 to do the driveway. You tell me what part of that is wrong. That's what you wrote.
For one, he was claiming to be the owner, okay?
I don't care whether he was claiming to be God.
It was a big scam, is what I'm getting at.
Just a second.
Okay.
If you opened up your ears, and if you used your ears more than your mouth, and used your brain, you would understand that's exactly what I just said. That's exactly the scenario that I just said of $300. And you destroyed her property because you weren't smart, which is clear to me how it happened. Crystal clear to me how it happened. Are you his partner?
I'm right here beside him.
What?
Yeah.
Good. The only question is, you said to her, I'll fix the part that I jackhammered. He said, I'll fix the part that I jackhammered. You said, I want a new driveway. That's what he says.
For $4,000?
Just
Shoot.
don't, John.
What?
Listen, you have to understand something. You and your partner made a mistake. You got conned. It's like somebody I had here yesterday told me that she met a guy online from Nigeria who said to her, I want to come and live with you but I need to know your bank information. That's what happened to you. That's really what happened to you. You said, listen, you're in the concrete business. I have a house. I want you to do a job for me, but I want to make sure I'm dealing with a legitimate outfit. So wire me $300. I'll send it right back to you along with $6,000 to do the driveway. You sent them the $300. They closed their line. You never heard from them again. And you destroyed another person's property who had nothing to do with you. You got scammed. But between you, who were dumb and got scammed, and the plaintiff, and the only question that I have to decide is, and that's going to be based on pictures, is I want to see what the driveway looked like jackhammered. I want to see whether patching the driveway is sufficient, or you charged $6,000 to put in a new driveway. There's no question. I've had and I have a lot of driveways. Unless you do the whole driveway, it looks like a patch job. It looks like one piece is done in 2020 and one piece is done in 2002, and it doesn't look right. So now I have to see what part you jackhammered and whether reasonably it can be repaired or whether she needs a new driveway. That's the law. Now, may I see photographs, please?
Well, this photograph is
Just don't tell me what the photograph is. Just hand it to me.
That's before the damage. The one after is after.
Don't talk. Don't talk. Just
Don't talk.
stuff.
This is like a silent
Thank
movie. This is a before and after picture. What does that mean?
The stack of pictures, that's the after I had it repaired. And it does look like a patchwork job. I just was desperate to have it fixed. So.
Well, it is a halfway job. Is this the fix?
That's the fixed.
And is... Can I see the bill, what you spent to have it fixed? Just the bill to have it fixed. Good, thank you. I want to know how much you spent to have it fixed. I have two checks.
Yes,
$2,268 are the two checks that I have.
Yes, so the gentleman that fixed it, we paid one check to him before he started the job and another check to him after he finished.
So you spent $2,268.
And also $895 for the concrete. To save us money, he said that if I ordered the concrete myself and saved him doing that, that I could save some money. So
got it. Listen, she got a bargain. You charged him...
$4,000, you do the whole driveway.
Listen to me. You watch your attitude. There's only one person here that has attitude. Listen to me. For people who were stupid enough to get scammed by this person, I would not be so aggressive. You were charging this man who was... hey, I'm speaking. You may get away with that at home, not in here. You were charging this guy $6,000 for a new driveway. She had the thing done, knees and kiss her feet.
That wasn't even a third of the driveway.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Oh, I had additional. I hired a private investigator to find them.
Yeah, you charged that one on the bill, too.
And I'd lost wages.
Yeah,
You would have
what?
answered
Go to
your
your work.
phone, we could have done it.
Nobody called.
She did your work. She would large wages, man.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Really? No.
All right.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet.
I didn't know if someone had done this as an act of vandalism.
I understand we did a mistake, okay? I got scammed, that's that.
I didn't know what happened, so it was pretty scary.
I could have fixed it for her. I would have paid the concrete out of pocket. I'm still scammed out of $400.
I hired a private investigator, actually, to even find them. I had no idea who had done the damage.
I could have paid for the concrete, done the work, done deal. Everybody's happy. She never gave me the opportunity.
I'm glad my driveway's fixed.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter, Speller versus Jelks. Step forward, please.
Sharon Speller is suing mechanic Dwight Jelks for the cost of car parts and for the value of a vehicle that went missing.
Mr. Jelks, I'm going to start with you. The plaintiff brought a car into you to be fixed.
Correct.
And it was an old car, and it was a car that she had inherited from someone. Was she able to drive it in, or did she tow it?
I towed it.
So you went to her house and you towed it?
Correct.
How'd you long?
A few years.
Now, on what date did you tow this car in to your shop?
I want to say October
of last year.
Correct.
And when had you inherited the car, Ms. Speller?
Like September of 2016.
From whom?
My uncle.
Had you been driving it?
I drove the car from Alabama.
When?
Like September of 2016.
And then what did you do with it?
It started cutting off. So then I called Dwight to come see, why the car was cutting off. Dwight he had the car. It was going back and forth, back and forth. Me and Dwight.
On what date did you give him the car?
I said maybe like September 18th of 2016. He gave me the car back to try to take it to the emissions test, like in November. It didn't work out.
Just a second. So in November of 2016, it didn't pass emissions?
Yes.
So you couldn't register it?
It had already been registered.
That is not correct.
If it had already been registered, why would you take it to emissions?
Because when I had the car, I had to get the car in my name, and it wouldn't pass the emission. You know how they give you time to get it fixed?
Just a second.
Yes.
So it didn't pass emissions in November?
Mm-hmm, yes.
So what did you do with the car between November of 2016 and October of 2018, is my question. You drove it for a while, and then it would break down?
Yes, ma'am.
And what year car was this?
This was a 1994 Buick LeSabre.
So the car's about 25 years old?
Yeah, but it was in good condition. Only had
Well, evidently not if it kept breaking down.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sharon Speller says mechanic Dwight Jelks is responsible for the disappearance of her car.
So what did you do with the car between November of 2016 and October of 2018, is my question.
From my house back to Dwight's.
I don't want you to call him by his first name. Mr. Jelks.
Mr. Jelks.
So it went back to Mr. Jelks.
Yes.
Is what you're telling me over a 2-year period, it went back and forth to be fixed?
Yes.
And it was unregistered? That's either a yes or a no. If it's a yes, it was registered, you'll show me the registration.
Yes.
So was it registered
Yes.
between 16 and 18?
Yes.
Show me.
The car was registered.
I just want to see where. This is 2016. I want to see that the car was registered between 2016 and 2018.
No, the license plates had expired by then.
Well, then why are you wasting my time giving me nonsense when I ask you for something? You think if you just give me a piece of paper, it's going to suffice? So the answer is between 2016 and 2018, the car was not registered.
Yes.
So between 2016 and 2018, I'm going to ask you this question again. What were you doing with the car?
It was going back and forth.
How is it getting back and forth? What? Stand. Name.
My name is Hollis Heron. I'm her son. Between 2016 and 2018, a car run for a few days, and then it'll overheat.
I want to know what was happening with the car between 2016 and 2018 when it wasn't registered.
Because we was trying to get it registered every time it was something different. First, the fuel pump went out. He took the car back to fix the fuel pump. We get the car, we was gonna take it to the emission place again. It cut off again. Then it was the battery went out. Every time it was time to get the car back,
So
it was
the
something
car
different.
was not drivable. You drove it for a while, and then it would break down unregistered, and then it would continually break down, and you would take it back to the mechanic to see if he could fix it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And was he able to ever fix it?
He always
No.
No.
And what year car was this?
This was a 1994 Buick LeSabre.
So the car is about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it was in good condition. Only had
Well, evidently not if it kept breaking down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What you say is that in October you brought it for the last time to your shop,
Yes, ma'am.
and then what happened?
The car was towed from in front of my house.
What was it doing in front of your house?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sharon Speller says mechanic Dwight Jelks is responsible for the disappearance of her car.
So the car is about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it was in good condition. Only had
Well, evidently not if it kept breaking down. Evidently not. If what you're telling me and what your mother is telling me is that over a 2-year period, it would drive, would cut out, would drive, it would overheat, it would drive, it didn't pass admissions. You could never get it registered in 2 years because it's dirt. So don't tell me it was in good condition.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. This car you inherited. Now, what you say is that in October you brought it for the last time to your shop?
Yes, ma'am.
Of 2018? And then what happened?
The car was towed from in front of my house because it had expired plates.
What was it doing in front of your house?
Because I work in the back of my home, in the garage. So I was going to repair the car there, but the car got towed the day before I was going to put the motor in it. Another motor.
That's your fault.
For the car?
Yes. If you accept the responsibility as a mechanic and take custody of someone's property, you're not an insurer, but you have to exercise a reasonable standard of care to see that it doesn't get towed.
Correct.
Now, you knew that it had no plates, and you're a mechanic, so you know if the car is on your property, they won't tow it, because normal people know that, and you look like a normal person.
Correct.
You negligently left it on the street, and according to you, it was towed. She doesn't know where her car is.
In which I told her where her car was. And I was willing to pay.
Just a second. Where was her car?
Towed to City Pound.
How do you know that?
Because they notified me.
Do you buy you?
They put a card in my mailbox, letting me know that the car was towed.
How much after the car was towed did you notify the plaintiff that the car was towed?
The next day.
How did you notify her?
By phone and text.
Can I see the text?
Don't have no text also.
You have no text?
No, ma'am.
Have no nothing?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I'd like you to give me, Bird, the low-end value of 1994, whatever this was.
$1,002.
$1,002.
$1,002.
She stated that the car was registered, in which it wasn't. That's the reason the car was towed.
Listen to me, sir. You're a mechanic.
Correct.
Your obligation is to, if I take my car into Ford or Chevrolet or a mechanical service to take care of my car, and they negligently leave my car out on the street at a meter, and the meter expires, and they keep putting tickets on it, and the car gets towed, that's your fault. You have to exercise paid when you were fixing this car.
Yes.
Right. The car's worth $1,002. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
It's all a rip-off because there was never nothing wrong with the motor.
Things happen.
It was just one thing after another. I'm just glad it's over with.
The car was towed. I didn't get a chance to get it running again.
Called me and said, Miss Sharon, did you come get your car? And I said, of course not.
I told her that the car was at the pound, and she didn't go get it.
And then he called back the next day and said the car had got towed.
That's what happens.
Don't deal with alley mechanics.
You're out until 2 o'clock in the morning, and you've been bar hopping.
Short tempers after a long night out.
You say we got into a heated argument while heading home.
He hits my shoulder. I say, please don't touch me. I don't want to be touched. Please do not touch me. Get your hands off me.
It's all very nasty.
I go like this to move, to block. My hand connects with like this part of his face.
He says that you punched him in the face.
This is Judge Judy.
Dean Catlett is suing his ex-girlfriend, 25-year-old Brescia Wigglesworth, for a false arrest.
Order. All rise. It's case number 110 on the calendar, the matter of Catlett versus Wigglesworth.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Okay, I know I won't have all of the facts perfectly, but I'm going to try to set the stage of this story so that we can put it in context of what you both want. So I suggest you pay attention to what I'm saying, not look at anything else. You were a couple for a while. You went out for an evening, and that was on July 29th of 2018. You were driving, and you drove with him. There was nobody else in the car, either going or coming. Is that correct?
That's incorrect.
Who else was in the car?
Her name is Yolanda.
So you went with somebody else who was in the back passenger seat?
Yes, Briche was next to me.
So it didn't happen on, did it happen on the 28th or the 29th?
The event prior was the 28th. My arrest was the 29th.
Got it.
Excuse me.
What?
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I also want to just make this clear. We were not a couple at the time of the incident.
Just friends?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fine. Not easy to do.
No.
You went out for an evening, and the evening was either, I don't care, the 28th or the 29th. And according to both of you, the arranged to with friends by 1 a.m. because you had an early morning appointment.
That's right. That's true. I had an interview.
So far correct?
Yes.
And then the friend that had come with you didn't want to leave or disappeared. You were looking for her. And that took a little time, so you didn't leave until when you finally found her. She said, I found something interesting here. I think I'm going to stay for a while.
Yes.
Not exactly true. I'm sorry.
No?
Not exactly true. That isn't the exact reason why we left so late.
Why did you leave late?
We left so late because he was still drinking with the other friends that we went out with. And I had asked him to leave earlier about 3 times. And even though he said we would leave, we continued to go around bar hopping. And that is, yes, on my part, partly my fault.
Yes.
Because I didn't demand him to leave. At the same time, I came in with him. I didn't have another ride. No. I should have called like an Uber or a Lyft to take him back home.
But you stayed.
Yes.
And continued to socialize.
Not really.
No. Okay. Anyway, you got into the car to go home and you had an argument. And the argument was about the fact that you stayed late.
Yes.
Is that what the argument was about?
I was disappointed, yes.
You were complaining that you stayed later. He was driving.
Yeah.
Now, so I want you to tell me exactly, you're telling him you're annoyed. He says to you, what happened next?
He starts saying, understand, I was trying to get her. I should have just left.
Okay.
I tell him, yeah, but you didn't just leave. So he starts saying, he starts saying, you're calling me worthless. You're calling me a worthless man. You're calling me a worthless man.
Just a second. We hopped from, we should have left earlier, to him saying to you, you're calling me a worthless man.
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
I told him, I'm not calling you a worthless man, but I'm saying that I'm disappointed that we didn't leave earlier. You had made a promise to leave.
Just a second. We don't go from, you made a promise to leave, then you're calling me a worthless man.
Because I never said that.
What did you say?
I told him I'm disappointed that you didn't leave when you said that we were going to leave.
And he said, you're calling me a worthless man. Okay. I know you want me to believe that. It's a leap that I'm not here prepared to make. Okay, you're calling me a worthless man, and then what happened?
So he's gesturing with his hands. He talks a lot with his hands.
He can't do this with both hands because...
Well, we hadn't started driving yet. We're still parked. We hadn't started driving yet.
Oh, so you had this argument when you were in the car?
Absolutely.
But you hadn't been driving yet?
We didn't start the car yet.
Okay. You say we got into a heated argument while heading home. That's what you say in your answer that you swore to. So now you're telling me that you weren't heading home, you were just in the parking lot. You hadn't started yet. Okay, so...
And while he's doing this, he's touching me. He's like touching my shoulder, touching my arm.
So just a second, just a second. So he was gesticulating with his hand, and he touched your arm. And what did you do?
I
have your answer.
He still keeps going. I move over. He still keeps going. He's doing this. He hits my shoulder. I go like this to move, to block. My hand connects with his like eyebrow, like this part of his face. Then he goes, I can't believe you hit me. He gets up, he gets out of the car, slams the door. Before he slams the door, he says, I gotta walk. Then he gets out of the car.
I mean, I have your answer here. The story that you're telling me doesn't bear any relation to the sworn statement that you read here.
I understand, but I'm not the one who wrote that. I'm telling you the truth right now.
Listen to me. Before you came in here, you were a very intelligent young woman.
I still am.
Before you came in here, you read this over and you signed it. And if there were any changes that you wanted to make in here, you could have.
I did.
Not here. I didn't see any changes.
I said that they should have been made, but that I was assured that that was just paraphrasing, and
No. Then we're going to go out, and you're going to write up an answer. Read it very carefully. You're not to be shown this answer that you wrote and swore to, and write up an answer that I can examine you on.
Okay.
Because what his claim is that you had him falsely arrested, and he says that you say, that's what he says, and there is an indication mentioned here that that did in fact happen. So you're going to go outside and find the producer who you say told you this is just paraphrasing and redo it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Parties are excused. This will be recalled.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's holding your cell phone in his left hand, and with his right hand, as he's driving and swerving, he's choking you. And I'm trying to figure out how he's steering.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
In a case recall from earlier today, Dean Catlett says ex-girlfriend Brescia Wigglesworth had him falsely arrested for assaulting her during a night at the Jersey Shore. Brescia is countersuing for medical bills and assault.
Oh, it's so good to be able to get a whole story. So now, Miss Wigglesworth, I have 7 pages of story. And when we get down to it, when I sort of put it all together, 2 people in the car, both of whom probably maybe were feeling good that night, feeling bad, but feeling good, got the worst of the deal. But it's clear from here that despite the fact that he put his hand on you, you physically assaulted him by slapping him the first time, the second time by punching him in the face, because you say in your document that you gave me that he's driving and swerving because you're arguing with him, and he's holding your cell phone in his left hand. That's what you said.
Yes.
And with his right hand, as he's driving and swerving, he's choking you. That's what you said right here. And I'm trying to figure out how he's steering. So it's all very nasty. And then you say, stop the car, you got out, you still had your phone, you wanted your phone, he touched you, you punched him.
So I do want to clear up.
Just a second. That's what you say in here. And he, of course, has pictures, like you have pictures, of injuries. I'm sure he does, right?
Absolutely, I do
right.
have my
And you have pictures of your injuries to your knee.
No,
right?
I don't have pictures of injuries, but I do have text messages where he admits that he has.
Listen to me carefully. I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
You both behaved badly on the night of the 28th or the 29th, whichever one it was. Now, he was arrested, and then he filed a lawsuit against you after he was arrested.
Yes.
And then you both had lawyers and went to court. According to you, legal advice.
Yes.
So am I correct from reading this? Because my interpretation of that evening was you both acted badly.
I mean, that's not the truth.
That's incorrect.
Just a second. I know you acted badly.
I acted in self-defense.
I know that you acted badly.
I acted in self-defense. So
I know that
badly, okay.
I know that you acted badly. I know that in response to somebody touching your shoulder, you don't punch him in the face.
I didn't punch him in the face.
Can I see the pictures?
That's not what happened.
Sure. So what I'm saying to you is he has to acknowledge to me that, first of all, you're out until 2 o'clock in the morning and you've been bar hopping. And the smart thing to do is call an Uber.
If you have been excessively drinking,
no,
yes.
If you...
I have been...
When you've been drinking, you never know that it's excessively.
Absolutely.
Drinking impairs otherwise reasoned judgment. You might not do something after you've had 1 drink that you would do after you've had 2. And you're a big guy, you could handle 2 drinks.
I understand.
But not a smart thing to do. You know, if you promise your friend that you'll take her home at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Your friend who does not drink. Your friend also who was not drinking that night. Your friend also who only had 2 shots that night and knew her limit.
Do you see how aggressive you are?
I do. Did want to get that out.
I know that you wanted to get it out, but do you see how aggressive you present to a fact finder? So I have children and a lot of grandchildren. I know about what happened here that night. You both behaved badly. You were angry.
No, ma'am.
I don't think you do.
No, ma'am.
Oh, you don't think you behaved badly?
I think I behaved. No, I know that I behaved in self-defense. And I also have text messages, which are evidence, where he admitted to being drunk and on drugs.
Ma'am.
And yes, you are correct.
Just a second.
I should have called an Uber and taken my cell phone. And I accept
absolutely
that
right. And you shouldn't have punched him.
I should have did that.
And you shouldn't have punched him.
And I did not.
You said you did.
Ma'am,
just a second. You said you did. Just a second.
Somebody choked
just a
me
second.
I have text
and would not give my phone back.
Stop. You say you did. And it was after you punched him that he threw you to the ground.
Before I even did that, he had choked me and wouldn't give my phone back.
You're talking about him choking you when he was holding the phone in his left hand
That
and
is how
choking
he
you. I'm
swerved.
speaking.
If you don't, I'm sorry.
speaking.
I apologize.
Okay, so this is what I think. You have a lawsuit against him for $4,500, and that's for the medical bills and punitive damages. And he has a lawsuit against you for attorney's fee for $5,000. I'm granting both the complaint and the countersuit, but they negate each other, which means that you're going to have to show me one thing. I want to see the damage you allege she did to your car.
Absolutely.
You're talking about the hood of the car?
She kicked the bumper in from both sides, which is left dangling, and she also, with both her fists, basically caved in the front of my hood.
Let me ask you this question, sir.
Am I the whole?
Did she ask you to let her out of the car?
The answer is yes, but the issue was we were an hour and a half away. There were no lights. There was everything. We were on a strip of LBI, so there was no lights. There were no places that were actually open, and she wanted me.
Did she say to you, let me out of the car?
After she assaulted me, yes.
And did you immediately let her out of the car?
While we were immediately...
I'm talking about, I don't care whether it was dark, I don't care if it was in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't get to punch somebody in the face.
I didn't punch him in the face.
Just a second.
After somebody choked me?
No, just a second. In the car, holding your phone in one hand and choking you with the other.
And later today...
You know what she does for a living. She's not in the business of giving parking permits.
Okay, but this is her cousin's house, and it has it stated what to do when someone's coming over. So she can read, right?
No, you can read.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Dean Catlett says ex-girlfriend Briche Wigglesworth had him falsely arrested for assaulting her during a night at the Jersey Shore. Briche is countersuing for medical bills and assault.
Now, she's a big girl, and she wanted to be let out of the car.
I let her out immediately, as soon as possible.
No, you did not.
Well, immediately as soon as possible is not the answer. Okay, we have a draw. You both acted badly that evening just because you're a girl. You don't get to punch somebody in the face.
I didn't punch him in the face.
Yes, you did.
No,
you
I
even
didn't.
say
My
you
hand
did.
connected.
Just a second. Is what you're saying to me that you didn't, when I gave you 2.5 hours to write this down, maybe I read it wrong, is what you're telling me that you didn't write down here that I punched him in the face twice?
After somebody choked me?
No, just a second. I just asked you a question. Did you write here that you punched him in the face twice?
Yes, I did. After he choked me, after he did, supposed to get home without a phone.
Listen.
How was I supposed to call the Uber?
Hey, I don't buy choking you, driving and swerving the car, holding your phone in one hand and choking you with the other.
Did you read the part where he choked me for like a minute? It wasn't a long choke.
Ma'am, can I...
Goodbye. We're done.
Bye.
Ma'am,
Bye.
excuse me.
Bye.
Bye.
Judy. See you later.
Parties are
Thank you.
They step out.
I was acting in self-defense the entire time.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with this individual ever again.
I just want him to leave me alone. Like I wanted him to leave me alone that night.
And I hope that she finds what needs to put her back on the right path.
Why do you want to be around me so much, sir? I just want to be left alone.
As you can see, just things weren't really working out for her. A lot of anger issues.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aragoyan versus Newborn, step forward.
21-year-old Sierra Aragoyan is suing her former friend, 21-year-old Tatiana Newborn, for a loan to pay impound fees. Tatiana is countersuing for damages to her car.
All right, Miss Newborn, I'm going to start with you. This is what the case is about. You were out for an evening with the plaintiff, and you were staying over at somebody else's house, and you were driving your car. When you got home, and this may all not be perfect, but when you got back to the house where you were going to spend the night, according to you, the only space available was overnight. And what kind of a sign was there that told you that you couldn't park there overnight?
There was this sign here that I have pictured. I was told that I couldn't park there.
Just a second. I just asked you a question.
Yeah.
I said, what did the sign say that informed you that you couldn't park there overnight?
It said you couldn't park there unless you had a permit, and it was posted.
Okay, so it says no parking here without permit And usually under those, it says violators will be towed at the owner's expense, right? And that's what the sign said. And you parked there anyway.
I was given a permit.
No, you weren't given a permit. You parked there anyway because you say the plaintiff told you that it's okay, you can park there. I park here all the time. I'll write out a permit for you. And she wrote out a piece of paper and put it on your car. Is that what she did?
Yes.
And you parked there?
Correct.
How old are you?
21.
And your car got towed?
Yep. And it was damaged.
Just a second. I don't care. You parked where you weren't supposed to park. Plaintiff paid for the car to get out of impound.
Because it was her fault.
Just a second. No. She paid for the car to get out of impound, and she's suing because she wants that money back. Is, you say, because she told you you could park there, even though the sign is right in front of you saying no parking overnight, towers will be towed away at owner's expense. The towing company scratched your car, so you're counterclaiming for the scratched car.
Correct.
That's dismissed. Now, if you're not, you don't look as if you are a dim-witted person. If a sign tells you not to park someplace without a permit, what do you do for a living?
I work at a hotel.
Okay. You don't work for the government that gives out parking permits, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. And I assume you know what she does for a living? That's either a yes or a no.
Yes.
You know what she does for a living. She's not in the business of giving parking permits.
Okay, but this is her cousin's house, and it has it stated what to do when someone comes over. So she can read, right?
No, you can read.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, it's your car. You can read. No parking without a permit. Violators will be towed away at their owner's expense. And if you choose to park someplace, I'm back. It's okay. You're not going to hit anything. Takes 10 steps, but you wouldn't do that because you'd look and you'd say, gee, there's something here that's going to stand in my way. But you don't do things where it's right in front of you. That was your choice. Your choice was to park in a place that was clearly a space that required a proper permit. And the fact that your friend that works in a hotel told you, yeah, you can park here. My cousin lives here. I park here all the time. Well, she parks here all the time at her own risk. Anyway, she gets her money back. How much was the towing?
The towing was $350, but I only had $360 to give her because I didn't have it in change, so I wanted the $360.
$360. Judgment for the plaintiff. Counterclaims dismissed. We're finished.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Miss Bayes told you she was pregnant.
Yeah. She sent us a picture of a baby saying she had the baby.
I'm just not sure if there ever was one to begin with.
Next Judge Judy.
Sierra was wrong, period.
I mean, she was in the wrong 100%.
I didn't have money to pay for it.
Like, everything about this whole situation was just wrong on her end.
Well, the friendship is over at this point.
I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal to me.
I don't need fake friends.
You can order us a drink?